What's the best kept secret of experienced Uber Eats drivers? And how come all Uber Eats drivers don't know about this? Let me tell you, when you know the secret, a side benefit is you're going to make a lot more money. And quite possibly more importantly, you're going to be much happier as well. So between the two, why wouldn't you want more money and be exceedingly happy while you work? Sign me up. I'm sure you're already trying to guess, what's the secret, Russ? Is it the high-paying locations of the restaurants that aren't on that Uber Eats hotspot list? Nope. Or is it a way to hack the app and that way it only sends you the highest tipping orders? Nope. Sorry, not that as well. Oh, what about the best places to go to the restroom when your internal fuel tank is exceedingly full? Sadly, no, but that would be a nice one. To more fully understand this secret, I briefly need to take you back 6 years when I was getting started as an Uber Eats driver. I thought I was doing pretty good on my own, and at the time I didn't know about YouTube that there were tips to help drivers like you and I. Overall, the order volume was pretty high and pay was good, so overall I was satisfied. I do know for sure, I realized I was going to go out of business if I only took those $2 orders. And yes, they did exist back then. So skip ahead 4 years now, and I was out to prove one way or the other, is it a wise thing to take all orders on Uber Eats? Is it going to be profitable and a good use of time? This is known as your acceptance rate. How many orders you accept and how many you decline. And I do want to be upfront. You cannot be penalized and you cannot be made to take any, some, or all orders. Overall, I was despising the Uber Eats app and I was wondering, okay, when I get on there, what horrible adventure am I going to have today? And this gets right into the secret. Here it is. Are you ready? You need to cherry pick all your orders. If you accept every single order on Uber Eats, you're going to be miserable and not make as much money. So I'm going to cover what cherry picking is and how to do it. But first, just like you, I think we all want to be happy in life. And this is the biggest thing that was making me miserable. So let's talk about my lack of happiness first. Before doing the Uber Eats acceptance rate experiment, I was carefree, I was happy, and I was enjoying life. And what a great benefit Uber Eats is that you can get hired essentially with no criteria, go out and earn some money delivering food and helping the customers. I was loving it. I would very easily accept the good offers and decline the bad ones because I had learned if I'm gonna take $2 orders, I'm gonna go out of business. Overall, though, I was absolutely miserable because I was actually losing money. And let me tell you how. It's very simple. At the end of the day, Uber Eats could send me a really long distance delivery or a place that would have horrible traffic, and so I wouldn't be able to get to my next appointment on time. So I would be losing money because I'd have to turn off the app an hour before I wanted to. I knew if I had time, I could go 30 minutes out and 30 minutes back. So right there at the end of the day, within an hour, cutting it off, losing that opportunity to make money. Same thing goes other times if I'm in between appointments or things like that. I would go online and I could just do one quick order and then go offline again. But now by accepting all orders, what if it took me really far away? So I was limiting my income because I would have to wait till I had at least an hour or more to do orders. So on both the front and the back end, I was losing out on the opportunity to make money. And I think you can easily agree, that's foolish. I was also miserable because I was being forced to do shop and pay orders that I didn't really want to do. Who wants to know about Michael's? They have crafts and art supplies in there. A lot of that stuff is really hard to find. In the beginning, I'm asking a lot of the employees how to find this specific little thing. Now I'm a little bit better at it, but that doesn't mean that I want to take orders from Michael's. And another type of shop and pay order that's hard for me is like the 99-cent store, Dollar General, those kind of places. They could be out of stock or you really have to know the layout. And overall, I would just say it was a waste of my time. But by accepting every offer, I had to do those kind of orders. One type of order that I still have refused to do would be like Home Depot and Lowe's, because who knows what they want you to get inside there. Really, the biggest source of unhappiness was feeling like I had to do what Uber Eats wanted me to do, and I had no personal choices in the matter. Uber Eats isn't reimbursing me for my expenses. They're not paying me a ton of money, so why should I have to bend over backwards and help them? Again, I chose to do this experiment for 2 years, so I get what I deserve. The reason I'm sharing this with you is you don't need to do the same thing yourself. There's nothing worse than feeling like you have to do something that goes against your own free will. Yeah, it's our choice to work and earn money, but who wants to be forced to do every single thing that Uber Eats tells you to do? I don't. It was a horrible feeling. You should be happy and carefree when you're working, and to have something lingering over you like, oh, if I get a terrible order, or like the tire deliveries, having to fill my car with tires, that's horrible. I don't want to be forced into doing something that I really don't want to do, especially as an independent contractor. And that's what we are. That's why we don't receive certain benefits or protections, because we're independent contractors. We want to be able to work when and how we want to and get paid for our time. If we're on a schedule and we're forced to do what Uber Eats wants, then we have to always do what they say. So overall, now that I'm not on the app all the time and having to take every offer, I feel so happy. And I think my acceptance rate, it was at 88%, but I just declined another tire delivery. Oh, 87%. Do a little screenshot for you there. So let's get into cherry picking. Basically, it's only accept orders that are profitable for you. Based on my experience, I can do 3 per hour, assuming that we had back-to-back orders that were good paying. So only accept the ones that are profitable. If I want to make $21 an hour, I only accept $7 or higher orders. This makes sense. You also need to watch your miles. You don't want long distance deliveries, because that's going to add into the time and also wear and tear on your car. So do not feel like you have to take every offer. You don't. You're not always going to get really high paying ones, but I guarantee you're always going to be getting low paying ones. So just say no. So for cherry picking, you need to watch how many miles you drive. This is important because you're not actually getting reimbursed fully for the wear and tear on your car, and this will bankrupt you over time. I'm going to bring up a chart here. This shows 4 years worth of my earnings. Obviously, the first 2 years we're not doing the experiment. The last 2 are. So you can see I was in 2021 doing really well, and then I really kind of did lower my standards and start accepting every offer, or most of them, because I felt like the market was slow and I was going to miss out. But here's the key thing. When I was doing this experiment, accepting all orders, I did not receive a ton of pay that would make it worth it. So yes, my average went up a little bit. You can see there total would be, say, 65 cents per mile, but it wasn't $3 per mile, showing that Uber Eats was paying me so much money to take every offer. Don't do it. Up next, here's a chart of my pay taking every offer, and you can see in 2023 and then 2024. I do separate and call out the time that I truly had 100%. And you can see right there, my averages are within $1 or $2 from the time I was starting at 58% to 100, then that short time period of few months when I had 100%, and then once I missed one, I tried to get back to 100%. The point is, if I was going to be taking every offer and Uber Eats was valuing that, I wasn't getting a ton of pay for it. So you could rightly discern, if you're going to get a ton of money taking every offer, that would show up in these averages, and it just doesn't. So this is proof you're not going to get paid a ton of money for taking every offer. And further, there's probably no secret high-paying orders that Uber Eats reserves for the special drivers. It's just not there. So I trust you can see I get frustrated talking about 2 years worth of demoralizing treatment, low pay, miles on my vehicle. I don't regret doing the experiment, because in reality, I did it for you so you don't have to do the same thing. And now I know, and I just need to stick to my own advice and cherry pick and don't ever deviate again. I'm so much happier now, and I'm looking forward to making more money. Just like declining that trip radar request, I know based off my experience what's a good and a bad order, but this may not be for you. How do you actually know how to deliver food profitably and safely? I'm sure you'd agree it's good to make money, and you as a driver need to be safe when you're doing it, and safe also protecting yourself from deactivation. I do have good news for you. I've made a video covering both of these important details. Please watch it next, and I'll see you there.